Find a nice, comfortable place to sit, or maybe lie down in your warm, soft bed. Take a deep breath in through your nose and slowly and gently breathe out through your mouth. Again, deep breath in and slowly and gently breathe out through your mouth. One more time, breathe in and slowly and gently breathe out through your mouth. Now take a deep breath in, and as you do, raise your shoulders up as high as you can. And as you breathe out, let your shoulders drop back down again. And now just relax. And just bring your breathing back to its normal rhythm. Now imagine roots coming out from the soles of your feet, kind of like the roots of a tree. And I want you to see those roots going deep down into the ground, as far down as you can get them to go. Deep, deep into the earth. This is grounding you and making you feel very, very safe. Now imagine yourself surrounded by a pure white light. A very beautiful, pure white light. And you can feel this light, this energy, as it forms around you like a cloak of protection. And remember, you are part of the energy, and the energy is part of you. Now imagine you are walking through a beautiful, lush green meadow. It's a beautiful sunny day, and the sun is sitting high in the sky, and you can see lots of fluffy white clouds just gently floating past. And as you continue to walk, you have a look around you and you notice the most amazing flowers. They're very pretty and they're in the most wonderful colours. Can you tell what kind of flowers they are? Pick one if you want to. The scent of them makes you feel very happy indeed. It's like breathing in pure love and happiness. You continue to walk through your lush green meadow, noticing the tall trees in the distance, and you can feel the long grass tickling your legs as you walk. You can also hear the birds singing as they fly over you. You can even hear the flapping of their wings. It's so nice here. You hear sounds in the distance, but you're not sure what it is. It seems to be coming from another field behind some very large trees. You reach the end of your field and go through the trees to the other side, and what you see is quite amazing. In another lush green field, you see men on horseback charging at one another, and you wonder why. It's then that you realise they are jousting, and each one of them has a long, what sort of looks like a lance or a very large spear, but without a pointy end. And they are riding very fast towards one another. You notice that one man stands out above all the rest. He is very large and has a big bushy beard. You also notice he has what looks like a crown on his head, and he's dressed in very bright, shiny silver armour. You suddenly realise that you are in medieval England. Wow! The field you're in is so full of people, all watching from big stands with lots of seats. The people you can see are all wearing very colourful clothes, and at the largest stand, which looks very grand indeed, the flag of King Henry is flying high above it. It looks absolutely fabulous. You hear the sounds of music. It is medieval music. You hear the sounds of a lute being played somewhere. You can't see it, but you can hear it. It's then that the king sees you and gives you a big grin and a wave. He rides over to you on his horse and says,
"Hello there. Would you like to practice with us?"
"Oh my word, You don't know what to say at first, and then you remember your manners. You realise that you have to bow to a king. So you give your best, deepest bow and say, "Oh yes, please, your majesty." The king calls to one of his knights to bring you a horse. The king jumps off his horse and tells you he will give you a lift up, because horses are very big. The knight, who is also dressed in shiny silver armour just like the king, brings over your beautiful white horse, and King Henry lifts you up and onto your horse. Your horse is quite big, but he's the right size for you. The king tells you that this is one of his favourite horses and tells you that his name is Lancelot. He then hands you your joust. You feel a bit clumsy with it at first, but you get the hang of it very quickly. King Henry tells you that they are just practicing at the moment, but the real competition will begin very soon. He tells you that if you win, you could win the best prize, which is a beautiful golden rose, and it really is made of gold. So you begin to train with the knights of the court and King Henry himself. For a few moments, practice jousting on your horse with King Henry and his knights. But make sure you don't fall off now. Wow, that was fun. But now it's time for the real competition. The king lets you have a go first. So you get ready with your horse, and you're at one end of the field, and at the other end of the field is a knight of the court who is also getting ready. You hold on to your jousting lance, and a beautiful lady in the stand waves a white flag, and your horse begins to run with you on it. The knight's horse begins to run too. Your horse is breathing heavily and charging forward. You steady your lance and aim it forward, and then suddenly there is a loud bang, and the knight falls off his horse. You have won this round. The people are all cheering for you and shouting, well done, bravo, well done." You are ecstatic. The grin on your face couldn't get any bigger. In fact, your cheeks are aching, you're grinning that much. The king congratulates you and gives you a big pat on the back, which nearly makes you fall over because he's that strong. And then he says, "Now it's my turn to joust." So, for just a little while you get to sit and watch the king jousting, and the king very rarely loses. He is very good at jousting. So have a bit of fun and watch the knights of the court and King Henry joust. Now that the competition is over, the beautiful lady is handing out awards, and you are astonished when she calls your name. She hands you a beautiful golden rose. You won. You actually won the competition. How fantastic is that? King Henry now says,
"Let's go for our feast. We will eat much and laugh loudly."
So everybody follows the king to the banqueting hall in the great castle. You take your seat at the huge round table with the king, his family, his knights, and his advisors. Wow, you are very honoured indeed. The king tells you that his best cooks are cooking up something special for you and for everybody. Everything you want to eat. In fact, there is so much food brought to the table, you give a little gasp. You have never seen this much food before. Wow, they really know how to party in medieval times. But you don't eat, you can throw your food on the floor. The king says,
"Don't worry, it's okay, we can clean it up later."
You are astonished and have a little chuckle to yourself. You wouldn't dare try this at home. You would get into very, very big trouble if you did. After the feast, the king tells you that you can stay the night in his castle. They have a room already prepared for you. The king himself escorts you to your room. Well, actually, when I say room, it's more like the size of a small house. It's enormous. It has a fire burning at one end with great big logs burning happily away. The room is lit by many, many candles, and it looks so very homely and cosy. The king leads you to your bed. Oh my goodness me, it's the biggest bed you have ever seen. It's a 4-poster bed, and it's so big it can fit your whole family in it. It has big curtains hanging down either side of it. The king tells you this will keep out the cold and all the drafts. After all, sometimes castles can be very drafty. You climb in and snuggle down. The pillows are so soft, and they are made from hundreds of feathers. So is the mattress you are sleeping on. It's so soft that you just sink right down into it. You are sleeping the night in a massive 4-poster bed. How cool is that? The king tells you it's time to sleep now. After all, you have had a very busy day. And you won the competition. You forgot that you had the golden rose in your hand, so you lay it on the pillow next to you and give a big sigh of happiness. The king says good night and goes off to his own room. You feel so happy, and you feel that you've made a very good friend in the king. He is so nice and so kind. But for now, it really is time to sleep. You take a big, deep breath in, and then slowly and gently breathe it out like a great big sigh of happiness, because you feel so happy and so relaxed. Take another deep breath in, and then just slowly sigh it out. And you feel so sleepy now. Take another deep breath in, then slowly let out the biggest, deepest sigh you have ever done. And even though your eyes are closed now, they still feel ever so tired. So each time you breathe in, you take in all the good thoughts and positive feelings. And each time you breathe out, you let out all of your unwanted thoughts and just let them just drift away. So as you lie there, thinking about what an amazing day you have just had, you slowly and surely drift into the most wonderful sleep. And when you wake up in the morning, you will be back in your very own bed, feeling fresh and bright, knowing that you can visit good King Henry and his amazing castle and his knights anytime you want. But for now, night-night.